Chief here, and I have another thought. Today, I was thinking about isolation. And I am an isolationist. I actually think our country needs to become isolationist. That we don't need to be so involved in world affairs, and we need to actually, focus on ourselves, focus on our infrastructure, focus on our schools, focus on, our families, building the family up. Focus on being protective of our families and of our nation. I just think that we should isolate. But, I'm not really trying to talk about that because I do believe that we absolutely need to become isolationists for the first time in since World War I, pretty much. Or the Spanish-American War, maybe. I think we absolutely need to become isolationists. We absolutely have to. But fuck all that, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about myself as an isolationist. Because I have isolated myself over the years, and the reason I've done so is because I want to read, I want to study. I've written a novel, and I'm working on another novel, and I'm building my brand, and I'm trying to take care of my family. So I don't have many friends. I probably have 5 friends, people who I would call friends. And they may not even call me a friend. But I don't give a fuck, because I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. And it is supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing is reading what I'm reading. What I'm supposed to do is writing what I'm writing. What I'm supposed to do is, reading what I'm reading. Did I say that? I think I just said that. I fucked up. I am supposed to be working on my body and the health of myself. I am supposed to be taking care of my family, first and foremost. Taking care of my family. Because that is how we, that's our greatest contribution to the world. Is building a great and strong family. And for some reason this society just hates that. For some reason they keep telling you to just indulge in just absolute hedonism and materialism, and that's supposed to be your absolution to all ailments, is just this hedonist materialistic society where we're taught what to buy, where we're told what to buy, we're told how to think, we're told what to listen to, we're told what films to watch. We're told everything that we do is super controlled. It's the illusion of choice. And I think even as an isolationist, I understand that I'm reading the canon, like I've talked about before, the canon. But I believe the canon is the canon for a reason, a very important reason, because these authors, had influence on their times and actually were describing their times accurately. Or, at least accurate enough for people to actually think that they should survive until this day. Which that's nothing to, just dismiss. We can't dismiss that. That these people have actually written something that we're actually reading today, and trying to understand that, wow, what they wrote actually is so, it's so apt today. It's unbelievably apt. But also I thought about isolation too, because I used to have friends. I used to be kind of a social butterfly of somewhat. I had a lot of friends, but then I started understanding that they never saw the posters on my wall. They never saw the books on my bookshelf. So when I started professing, especially when social media started getting greater, when I started professing some of my thought processes, they were taken aback, and then I started understanding wow, you guys never knew me, and I don't know them either, I don't know them either. I feel like I do know them generally. I can put them in this box, but all humans, I think, are never ever projecting their full selves, because it's impossible, But anyway, I think isolation is something that we need to embrace. especially if it's positive, so-called positive. Especially if it's about building ourselves and our character, helping out our bodies, building our families. Building our families is the number one. But building our minds, you know, that's what we necessarily need to isolate for. But also I understand that isolation can be damning. It can be lonely. It can be depressing. It can be, you know, it makes you think that it can make you think that the world's against you. It can make you think that society doesn't have a place for you because you're doing all this reading and writing and all this shit that you think is bettering yourself, but it may be harmful to you because you can't. Because even though I talk about like, hey, we need like the laissez-faire type of thought processes where they're like, oh man, I'm gonna wait for the government to solve everything, and just so I can get back to being a fucking degenerate hedonist. I'm not trying to focus on the problems and why they exist, and why they exist is probably because of my own hedonism. You know, I'm not trying to take a break. You know, and my partner, she used to complain about like why I was always reading this nonsense, this shit, you know, why was I always listening to who I was listening to, why was I doing all these things, you know, especially because it's always, you know, affecting my emotions when I'm already a curmudgeon, you know, I'm already one of these cynical people who, you know, can't help but walk around with a frown on his face, because I understand that the society that we're living in is troublesome, to say the least. But, you know, we have to do it. We have to. Because we have to atone for and fix the hedonism that is infecting our society. Because that's going to eventually affect our families. And it's eventually going to affect the isolation. It's actually not going to help you be isolated. It's going to help you just be someone who just goes with the herd. I love calling us the herd because that's what we are, and that's what how the elite think of us. But, you know, just isolate yourself every once in a while. Delete all the social media apps off your phone. When you watch it, when you're at home with your family, eat around the table. When you're at home with your girlfriend or your partner or your wife, put your phones in the room. Don't make sure your phones and your computers and everything are not in the same room as you. You know, isolate those things, you know. Throw them in the dryer, you know. Throw them in the closet, you know, and leave them somewhere where you can focus on your own thought processes, and you focus on your mind and focus on your body, and, you know, help yourself gain a greater perspective about the world around you, because it's very important. And I feel like what's happening now is that the elite are taking advantage of people who never did that, who never understood that, who were caught in the rat race, as a lot of homeless people say. Because I mean, I remember when I worked downtown, a lot of homeless people would just profess to me, because I would give them, you know, $5, $15, $20, you know, to run errands for me, like bring me breakfast, you know, go to this place and, you know, bring me shit. You know, I used to just have them running errands for me, because they wanted to, for one, for the money, but also because they didn't want to be in the rat race. They used to say that to me. It's like, why do I want to go to work at this corporation and be enslaved to them so I can pay hella for an apartment, you know, so I'm living a life of servitude. So that's why the homelessness crisis won't be solved. But that's another video for another day. You know, I always meander. But isolate yourself every once in a while. United States of America, please, let's fight for isolation so we can build up our nation and be who we always professed that we were. Even though we never showed it, you know, I'm a black man, and you know, like people already know how I feel about this shit, but I don't think I need to profess that all the time. You know, especially considering that I think there's fucking way greater issues that we need to undertake. You know. Anyway, that's my thought of the day. Chief again, and I would like to thank you for listening to my inane pontificating. Please like and subscribe to Bad Thoughts Publishing Company on YouTube. Thank you so much.